and its effect on you and its effect on your cells. So we're going to be discussing that today. And it's important because it's the visual side of what actually happens within. Okay? The kingdom is within. We're going to be talking about that. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Jay Bird. So we're going to be discussing this. And why is this important? Because if you want to manifest the things you want in life, you need to understand the vibrational aspect of it. Because when you do, things just come. Okay? Because you have a life path in here. And your life path unfolds like this. Okay? It unfolds for you. Life happens for you. It doesn't happen to you. If you think that life is happening to you, then you've been disorganized in your head, and your ideas have been misrepresented in such a way that you start feeling like the victim, and we call that victim mentality. Okay? So I just want to communicate this in the best way. Sometimes I take a little while, and I do channel when I teach sometimes. So and channeling, that's another thing. Before we move forward, channeling. Okay, you do it too. You guys do it too. Okay, so you guys, I have 7 platforms. So I have cameras over there. I have a camera up here. I have cameras all over the place. We're on 7 platforms every day. But you channel as well. Okay, so let me ask you this. I will pose this question. You think about it and you'll get the answer. Okay. When was the last time when you explained something to someone, okay, and you started saying things that you didn't even know you knew? And you were like, whoa, I hope I remember this because I didn't even know I knew this. Okay. It's subconscious, first of all. Okay. It's either subconscious or superconscious. Now, people that don't believe in God, okay, it's just subconscious. If you believe in God, okay, if you believe in a higher source, if you believe in infinite intelligence, that kind of thing, then it's the superconscious. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Oh, Sarah, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I get to see Sarah pretty soon. All right. So these things that, are vibrational, that attract to you, the things that come to you that are for you, that were always for you, okay, have always been there, okay? And we tend to keep them like this, just out here, just at arm's length sometimes. Okay, why is that? Well, doubt and fear. And what keeps us in doubt and fear? The systems of things in the world. Okay, all kinds of stuff. The systems aren't evil or anything like that. It's not a conspiracy kind of thing. Although there are some legitimate things that are being done on purpose to humanity. There are. Okay, in the form of control. Okay, these things are real. Things like that are real. Okay, because they're being done by other humans who go, okay, let's do this to them. Let's box them in over here. Let's do this to them over here. Oh, we can get this result if we do this. So as a result, we start to think differently about things. Nashan, good morning. Good morning, Maria. Hey, Maria. Hi, Maria. So anyway, why is cymatics important? It's important because it provides you the visual. Okay, so what is cymatics? Okay, cymatics is the study of how sound and vibration create visible form. Okay, so you can actually see what happens. So when they do the experiments, they put sand on a metal plate, okay, and the metal plate is connected to a unit that produces vibration, okay, and they can adjust the pitch, different frequencies, okay, and when they do it, you see that, the sand forms into like a snowflake, okay, or it forms into geometric shapes, okay. Now water does the same thing. So imagine, okay, this is the visual cymatics. You can look it up. It's a thing. Now you can also understand cymatics as well. If it's happening on this metal plate, it's happening in here. 70% of your body is fluid. It's water. Good morning. Hey, 4WD Jeep Dude. Good morning. Hey, Phyllis. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Please share the live. So if this is going on, right, if this is happening, what are the changes that are happening in you? Okay. Now we have seen people like Dr. Emoto and his experiments with water and blessing water and talking to water and talking to rice And some of those things have been disproven by science, and some of them haven't. Okay, but in cymatics, you see it right there, right in front of you. Okay, so it's a fact. It's something that's real. Now, if the vibration is doing that to water and it's doing it to sand, what is it doing it to you? Okay, because you have a certain amount of matter. Okay, you have a certain amount of water in you. So it's creating this change in you as well. Okay, so at its core, cymatics just does it demonstrates a simple truth, and that truth is sound is not abstract, it organizes reality. In the Bible, good morning, Jay. Good morning. In the Bible, okay, and I reference the Bible. I'm not here to push Christianity, I'm not here to push Bible, I'm not here to push religion, or but I discuss it because a lot of my followers are Christian, first of all. Okay, and secondly, that's what I'm familiar with. Okay, that's what I study, so I've studied that. But God spoke the world into existence. Okay, now esoterically in the Bible, what it's telling us is that what we speak becomes reality. Okay, and there's this old, you've heard the term abracadabra. Okay, what I speak comes into reality. Okay, or as I speak it, it happens. It begins to happen, or it begins to unfold. How does this work? Well, we can discuss it just a little bit here, okay, and kind of take a sidetrack to the left. But how it works is subconscious. You start speaking it, your subconscious recognizes your voice and your image over everything else and over everyone else. So, how powerful is this? This is very powerful. If you want something, discuss it. Okay, not with other people, because if you discuss it with others, here's what can happen. Okay, other people can interfere with it vibrationally. Okay, and create counter manifesting for you. Okay, because they can respond to you and you will think about the response. In other words, if you have an idea, right? Okay, I'm going to start a business. Okay, I'm going to start a business, and you talk about it with, say, your best friend who really doesn't understand business or isn't on the same path as you, and doesn't really think very much of it. Or maybe they think that the 9 to 5, 9 to 5 job is the thing, right? Maybe that they consider that security or whatever, and they go, "Oh man, that's crazy. What? You're going to start a business?" Now you're going to think about what they said. And why does it carry weight with you? Because you respect them, because that's your friend. Because. Okay, now your left brain, okay, the ego on the left, okay, you can call it rationale, you can call it logic, all of those things. The left hemisphere of the brain, it starts to rationalize you out of your dreams. Okay, the only way I ever succeeded with anything in life is to cling to the right side. Why? Because Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father. Okay, esoterically in the Bible, what that means is, like the journey of Moses, from the left, migrating from the left to the right in understanding. Okay, the promised land is the right hemisphere of the brain. This is what it's telling you. Okay, so anyway, now back to vibration. Okay, when your vibration is in alignment with other things at that vibration. And in humans, we're not talking about the same kind of vibration on the plate with the cymatics. In human beings, we're talking about emotions. Okay? So if you're in a low vibrational state, then you're doing stuff that keeps you upset. Okay? And this is all subconscious. Okay? This is not demons, this is not that kind of thing. Okay, so your subconscious will keep you anchored in a lower vibrational reality if you do this in repetition. Let's say you're doing gambling, let's say you're doing drugs, let's say you're doing bad stuff, whatever it is, things that are not conducive to success, or let's say a loving relationship, or let's say a good job, or let's say the things you want in life. Okay, so what happens is your subconscious is just wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. That's all it does. Okay. But it's doing this based upon what you're doing in repetition. And this is why the people that, people that keep doing what they've always done keep getting what they've always gotten. And they don't get ahead in life. Thank you, thank you. Who did that? Rosanna. Good morning, Rosanna. That's my buddy, Rosanna. Good morning, Rosanna. Hope the trucks are doing good today. Rosanna has a trucking company. her family is very successful. So, why is cymatics so important? Because it proves to you, okay, about what goes on in here in relation to sound. And we're going to get to sound. So I've been working with sound and healing people with sound for years, for 37 years. It's been quite a journey because in the beginning, I did not even know I was healing people because I didn't have this knowledge. Okay. When I started young. I was 27 years old when I started, and I started teaching people voice, developing their voices. And I was making a mistake. And the mistake I made was I was like, come on, bring your voice out, bring your voice out. I didn't know what I was doing. Apparently, if you believe in God, okay, then the divine was having me do this. But I wasn't aware. I was just the instrument. Okay. So everything comes to us from God through others. And I was that instrument of God to do that. And that's what I was doing. Okay, well, I did the research in 2007 because in 2007, I had been teaching for a long time and I saw these little kids and they were puffing out their chests when they were singing and they were so super confident. And I was like, what's doing this? This is not normal. Because this confidence started to happen like in a couple of months. And in 2 to 3 months, these kids were just unstoppable. And their parents were telling me, yeah, the teenagers were joining clubs and so people would bring their kids to me. When they were 12 or 13, they would show up because other parents will go, hey, if you're having trouble with your teenager, you got to take them to junior and problem solved. And so they would come. And pretty soon, like the things that they did, like some of them had, they were enrolled in volleyball. Some of them were in soccer. Some of them were in other arts like dance, but they would bring them to me for voice. And some of them were not really what you would call singers. They were not inclined to be singers. So what happened was I started to catch on. Oh, okay. Because all these kids that did not sing started showing up. Well, the good news was they all ended up singing. Okay, because every human being can sing, just not every human being thinks so. Okay, but every human being can sing. So anyway, long story short, in 2007, I do the research, which includes quantum physics, which includes like you name it, cymatics, which included like all kinds of stuff, right? And then it became very clear: sound organizes reality. Okay, and this is why in the Bible it says God spoke the universe into existence, because you can speak the things that you want in your life into existence. Okay, so what we do is we add to the vocalization though, okay, because it's not just your voice that does it, it's your visual. Okay, that's visualization. The 4 pillars are affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. If you aim all 4 of these at one thing, it has to happen. It cannot not happen. It might not happen your way, okay? But what we say is we say it happens in God's way because the how is God's job. Or if you don't believe in God, if you believe in universe, okay, universe. You believe in source, okay, source. You believe in Jesus Christ, okay, Jesus Christ. You believe in Allah, okay, Allah. Okay, so this is not, every human being is the same in here. They may believe differently, okay, but if you believe in God or you don't believe in God, either way you're a believer. Okay, so it's not about a religion. It's about human beings. It's about how special you are as a human being and your energy in here, your spirit in here. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. Okay? So your physical experience does not have to be suffering. It does not have to be pain and turmoil and emotional. You see? It doesn't have to be like that. That's why I'm here. and I'm here to spread the good news. Okay? Cymatics is the visual expression of frequency and what it does and how it changes. Because as they increase the frequency, the intricacies of the designs increase. They become more elaborate. With the higher frequency you go, whoa, this thing really changes. Okay? So here's what they have knowledge of that they have not released to the general public yet. There are cures for diseases that are strictly based upon frequency. In other words, they can put you in a sound booth and they can turn on these frequencies. It won't hurt you. It will heal you. And this is what your voice does. Okay, think of it this way. You've heard of somatic healing, the body. Okay, so this affects your body somatically through your voice. Okay, when you create a tone with your voice, when you create one long tone with your voice, okay, different things happen that start to heal your body, your cells. Okay, because frequency organizes your cells. Your cells are full of water. Okay, so if you see it on the plate with cymatics and you see how it, turns into snowflake-looking designs and stuff, okay, this is all from source. This is all from God. This is all from however you believe, okay? But it's that. Hey, Tumi, good morning. Good morning, Tumi. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I don't know how to say that. Omicrox? Sorry. But yeah, welcome. I don't want to butcher your name. But anyway, it's all of that, okay? And understand that we are all one awareness in here. We are all connected in here. So there's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you're watching this. There's a reason why you're attracted to the message. Okay? So at the core, sound organizes reality. So when you speak something, you send out a vibration. Okay, that vibration, thoughts, right, words become things. Okay, vibration is real. Vibration organizes. So when you're thinking a thought and then you verbalize the thought, this is why we have affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization. The vocalization of it, the speaking of it, makes it come into being. Okay? Now, how is it most effectively done? It's done with intention and emotion when you speak it. In other words, whatever it is that you're speaking needs to be done enthusiastically. Okay? And you marry intention with emotion and you get manifestation. Okay? Or let's say it another way. When you talk about something and you're really excited about it, or you put a lot of energy into it, you're going to get the results in your subconscious. So here's the other end of it. If it's negative, if you swear at somebody, you curse somebody, right? Like let's say you use a bad word at somebody with force, with emotion, okay? It will affect you in your subconscious. And you need to clean it up. Okay? So what I do I do that? Yeah, I do that. I mean, I don't really swear at others like that anymore. I used to a long time ago. I don't do that. I know how dangerous it is. But when I swear about something, I swear. I just don't do it professionally. I'm a human being. I'm no better than anybody else, okay? I'm not special. Okay, I'm just the same as you. It's just that I know about what I know about, you know what you know about, okay? But what I do is I say, I'm sorry, right after that, in my head. So if I'm talking to, sometimes I talk to Jay, and I swear when I talk to Jay about things, not in anger, just, just in regular descriptions, okay? But then in my head, I'm saying, I'm sorry after I say it, because I'm clearing the slate. Now you can do that too, okay? So that's the whole Ho'oponopono that we talk about. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I give it to all of my clients because it works, because it clears. Okay, so why is sound important with human beings? pattern recognition, and coherence, because the brain naturally seeks order. And this is why you have trouble when your brain is, when your thinking is not in order. And that also is a learned action through the subconscious. Okay? When you're thinking all kinds of thoughts, when you're overthinking, it becomes a pattern in your subconscious, and you always overthink because it's happening as a pattern and it's repeating in your subconscious. Okay, so I made notes. I'm going to look at some of my notes. But if you experience coherent sound patterns that relax you, it promotes mental clarity and focus. This is why people listen to frequency music on YouTube. Okay, so there's 528 hertz. So these things are called solfeggio frequencies. We'll get into that another day. But 528 hertz is one. 432 hertz is one. I give my clients a 432 hertz music bed. It's 1 hour long. And basically they use it for meditation purposes, for relaxing. So what you do is you close your eyes, okay? Close your distractors, okay? And you sit there and you put your telephone timer, okay? Everybody has a timer on one of these, right? Whether you have an Android or an iPhone or whatever you have, set it for 10 minutes. And then just close your distractors and sit there and listen to the music. Now, if you start thinking, if you start overthinking, it's okay. It will slow down after a while because there's no stimulus, there's no visuals going on. Okay, there's no dopamine hits happening. Okay, and that begins to calm you. That begins to calm you down. This is why meditation is important. The calming is important in meditation, but the second thing that's really important in meditation is that you begin to feel the universe. You begin to feel the expansiveness of all that is, because you're not pulled into a reality with your eyes. Your eyes look at one thing and go, oh, and that becomes the reality. The new car, the girl walking down the street, the guy in the gym, whatever it is, okay? But that becomes your reality. Everything goes back to perception, and then everything goes into the subconscious. 95% of your life is subconscious. You're not even aware that you're going through these programs because it's subconscious. The conscious mind only looks for goals. It looks for targets. Okay, the conscious mind is only 5% of your life. Very, very, very little. Very little. Everything else is wash, rinse, repeat. So is it easy to change these habits? Sure. Just a little repetition. Okay, and it solves everything. So what else does sound therapy do? Okay, your voice does this, okay? Your voice does this. Okay, your voice promotes stress reduction. Neural alignment. What is neural alignment? Okay, so repetitive stable tones can help the brain shift into alpha state, okay, or theta states. Now, when you meditate, you're in theta. When you focus on something in a relaxed manner, your brain is in alpha state. Now, these are brainwave states. You can look these up, okay? It's a thing. Cognitive alignment improves. Okay, so what are you in alignment with? Okay, so thoughts begin to come into order. They start to organize. So, chaotic sound, let's say headbanging music, that kind of thing, it produces mental agitation, right? Don't you feel a little agitated when you listen to that kind of music, right? You want to, do something that involves action. You get inspired, right? That kind of thing, okay? And some people get relaxed, okay? It depends on who you are and how you react to it, okay? But sound reorganizes attention. Why is that important? Because manifestation requires focus, it requires attention, and you pay attention. Why? Because your time is your life. So you pay attention. It costs you something. It costs your life. What do you want to spend your life on? You want to spend your life on, Candy Crush? Or do you want to spend your life on something that will bring you good stuff? Some people give up, right? They give up. They go, well, they're stuck in this subconscious loop. And they give up and they go, oh, hey, Mitch, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And they give up, right? And they go, wow, the heck with it. I'm just gonna do Candy Crush. And they just start to amuse themselves. And now the subconscious says, oh, that's the thing. And then it starts to repeat that. Okay. So once you install a new belief in the subconscious, I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident, thank you. And you do that for 2 weeks, but you have to do it when your brain is in theta state, when you first wake up, and then right before you go to sleep, you read it out loud. And this is the sound part of it. This is the vibrational part of it. And if you do it with emotion, okay, or energy, you do it firmly, okay, or happily, or joyfully, however you want to put that, then it goes into your subconscious faster. Okay, the physical effects in your bodies and in your body and your cells. Okay, cellular vibration. Your body is 70% water. Okay, so water, right, changes shape through sound, cymatics. Okay, it changes shape. What do you think it does to your cells? Okay, it influences cellular communication. What does that mean? Cellular, like cell phone? No, your cells in your body communicate with each other. They organize. Okay, so when you listen to the right music, okay, when you use your voice, it starts to organize your cells in a more positive manner, more organized manner. And now your cells are communicating more effectively with each other. Okay, muscle and tissue relaxation. Do you ever see a stressed out singer? I've been in entertainment for years and years and years. I'm out of it now a long time, but I was in it for years and years. I never saw stressed out musicians unless they couldn't pay their bills or unless things were going wrong. Okay, other than that, they're the happiest people. Why? Because they're producing vibration. Okay, literally good vibes through their voice. And this is what people don't know about singing, right? And this is what they don't know about vocal expression. So everybody in my life coaching company gets 2 exercises that we do on the singing side. Because if you want to create, good singers, okay, you do that. It develops the voice. If you want to bring good things into your life, okay, it does that. But you need to do it with the other 3 pillars. Okay, again, the 4 pillars: affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. On the voice side, just for singers, they only get vocalization. But what happens, and how our companies work together, is what happens is they come in seeking singing, right? Then they become this awesome singer. And then the side effect is the confidence. And they go, wow, like I'm super confident now, right? So now that you're super confident, right? Confidence is the key to everything. It opens all of the doors. Because God only reacts on what's in the subconscious. And now when confidence is the program, you can attain just about anything you put your mind to. So now the question is, now that you're confident, what are you going to do? What's the goal? And people don't normally think about that because singing was the goal, right? Now that they're confident, they go, oh yeah, that's right. And they start thinking, and all you need to do is plant the seeds. then we move them over to Here For You Life Coaching. And in Here For You Life Coaching, they learn how to manifest everything intentionally. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. If you put my name in an AI, any AI browser, any Google anything, whatever you use, Safari, whatever you use, and put teaching method after that, you'll get all the information. And the only thing that defines success or failure with this, because it's not like some people can do it and some people cannot. Every human being has this capability. But the system keeps feeding you stuff to make you feel insignificant, to make you feel less than. It's not a big secret. It's just something that society works against because they want to keep you in fear, because they want to show you the new shiny object, because they want to sell you the latest product. And all of these things interfere with your confidence because they produce feelings in you. I feel I should have that. Then you feel lack. Why? Oh, my neighbor has the new grill. I don't have a new grill. Oh, I feel bad. You see? Okay, that's envy. That's a negative emotion. But when you're stuck in these negative emotions, when the powers that be, so to speak, and this is not conspiracy, this is fact. When the powers that be project these things onto you, and maybe the goal is just to get you to the store to buy something. But you start feeling these things because you're a human. What happens? It distracts you from who you are in the kingdom. Jesus Christ said the kingdom is within. In here, you can have anything. I just write for, Jay sees this all the time. Hey, Face of Change, good morning. Jay sees me do this all the time. I write something and in about a week it comes. I speak about something and pretty soon it happens. But I had to do a lot of work on the subconscious first. Let me show you what that looks like so you can do it too. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. These are affirmations. This is not journaling. Okay, I have about 12 of these in storage. It looks crazy, right? Like, who does that? Oh, I do. Because it works. I did it for 2 months in the beginning, right? I said, if this doesn't work, I'm never ever going to do this again, because that's the kind of person I am. I don't waste time. And I look back after 2 months and I go, whoa, like all this stuff happened. Not all, the majority, which was good enough for me. Okay, so in the beginning, you have to condition your subconscious. Okay, I do this, but this is not your subconscious. This is your brain. Okay. But your subconscious is the culmination of all of your senses. Everything you see, everything you hear, everything you do, everything you think, everything you've ever thought. Okay, but this is your book of life. God looks at who you are. Okay, this is the who you are part of you. God looks at who you are. Can you change who you are? Of course. Of course. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. And when you change it, what happens? The results change. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over, thinking you're going to get a better result this time. Doesn't happen. It will not happen. Okay? But you can change it. That's the gift that God has given to you. You're not here to suffer one existence. You're here to enjoy. You're here to get everything you want. Whatever you want and who you are. More so who you are than what you want. Because some people master the what I want part, but they always get the who you are part. But who you are is defined by your subconscious. Okay, let's look at the subconscious tree real quick. The roots of the tree, your fundamental core beliefs. Okay? That's your subconscious. It forms your paradigm. Your paradigm is the trunk of the tree, the body of the tree. This is the majority of the way you act, the way you see the world, your attitude, all of that. What does this affect? The trunk of the tree affects the fruits of the tree, your actions. The fruits of the tree will bring you results. When I was building my companies, I started with one. Okay, I have 4 now. I started with 1. I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, Remember, the how is God's job. People always think they need to know how. They need to figure it out. They need to logically get into the left hemisphere of the brain and ego and figure this out and have a plan laid out. You don't have to have a plan. You just have to start doing it. And as you start doing it, the superconscious or God, depending on how you believe or what you believe, I'm not here to tell you what to believe, the superconscious will start working off of your subconscious. And the doors begin to open as you take the steps. And the right people come into play. And if you believe in God, then it's God that did all of this. If you don't believe in God, then okay, it's all you. Whatever. Okay. I'm here to tell you God is real. You know, whatever you think it is. Universe, source, God, Allah, Jesus Christ. Okay. It's real. But that's the divinity within you. The term namaste, for example, means the divinity in me salutes the divinity in you, or the spirit within me acknowledges the spirit within you. Try looking at people as spirits. Acknowledge their spirit with your spirit. Life changes. Then you begin to see the magic. Then the magic begins to happen. Then you can see your blessings and synchronicities. Not only do you see your blessings develop, not only do you see your blessings come into form, you start seeing the confirmations of it, the synchronicities of it. You're standing on the street and you're talking about a steak dinner and you see the meat truck drive by and you go, what a coincidence, I was just talking about steak. You see? But when you tune into these little things, everything shows itself to you because you're living in this simulation, in this matrix. So the spiritual, what are the spiritual effects of this, of cymatics? Sacred geometry. Okay. Sacred geometry made visible. That's what this is. So there's no doubt as to what this does. You can see it. They sprinkle sand on a metal plate. The metal plate's connected to the frequency generator. They start adjusting frequencies, and different sacred geometric patterns form. Sacred geometry is a thing. Human beings respond to shapes, colors, symbols, okay, geometric, and words. When you master these 4 things, okay, I had to do this to do my comedy. When you master these 4 things, you can paint pictures with words. You can tell stories with symbols. You can influence behavior with colors. Okay, all of these things. Symbols, shapes, colors, words. So sacred geometry, right, shows us universal organizational pictures. It shows it to you. It's the same thing that happens in your cells. Okay, this is why people are worried about 5G. Okay, because on the cellular level, it creates bad stuff. Okay, depending on the frequency, of course, but yeah, it's not healthy. A lot of people get sick living next to the towers. People get sick living next to the, what do you know about life? I don't know. What do you know about life? Life is a blessing. That's what I know about life. So when these frequencies start affecting your cells, which are water, it starts to reorganize the chemistry. It starts to reorganize things. It shapes and reorganizes reality. The same as when you read in the Bible that God spoke the world into existence. Resonance with intention. Inner alignment happens. Okay? And your voice produces all of these things. Your voice is a spiritual tool if you use it that way. Now, if you don't know about it, okay, if you have never heard about this, then maybe you're using another form. Maybe you're listening to music that soothes you. Okay, if you listen to Mozart, his music was recorded in 432 hertz. In the 50s, the Rockefeller Foundation, with a lot of money, changed the music scale universally to 440 from 432. Okay, some people look at that as a conspiracy. Some people look at that as, well, okay, that's influence. But there was motive behind it because John D. Rockefeller also funded medical schools. So he also funded Big Pharma. Okay, so because petroleum products, right? He controlled petroleum for a long time, and it went into medicines to manufacture medicines. So he made money on all of these fronts, or all of these, in all of these avenues. Okay. So taking the frequency from 432, which was harmonic for the human being, which was in harmony, in alignment with ourselves, with our being, and he just kind of shifted it a little bit, and now it's 440, and it keeps everybody on edge inside. You don't notice it. You think you like the songs, and you don't notice it, but on the cellular level, on the vibrational level, you're not at ease. Okay, or as ease as it would be if you were listening to frequency that was more conducive to your well-being. Put it that way. So now there's this whole community of solfeggio tone frequencies on YouTube. Check it out. Okay, because when you listen to that music, now it's all in 432 hertz scale. Now it's calming. Okay, now it soothes, now it relieves, and it heals. You have many healing mechanisms within you. It just takes a little activation. Okay, and it takes a lot of relaxation. Okay, but this world, right, makes us do the opposite. And yesterday we were talking about people that you see that appear to be motivated, but they're actually operating from fear. Okay, because high performance anxiety looks exactly like motivation. Okay, but these people are afraid, okay, at some level, and they're operating out of fear. Because why? Well, there's not enough. Okay, that's lack, that's scarcity. I need to produce more. I need to get ahead more. I need to climb the ladder more. Not enough. We gotta keep going, gotta keep going. The corporation demands more and more and more, right? Gotta improve that bottom line, gotta keep going more and more and more. So now a lot of that becomes perception. The executives I do a lot of executive coaching. The executives that I work with aren't aware that they're, working out of fear. One of my attorneys told me she knew. She goes, my whole career, and she's at the very top of her game in Hawaii. An awesome career, like amazing career. And she said, my whole career I've been working out of fear because I didn't want to be poor. And that was the mindset. I changed her mindset. She's good now. She understands. But when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It automatically shifts. And in order to have this shift of perception, in order to take that glass half empty and switch it to the glass half full, you have to become the observer. Because when you're participating, right, you're joining. When you engage, you join. When you're the observer, it begins to change by itself. It begins to show itself. And the only question you need to ask is, what's the good part of this? Because everything has two sides. And eventually it will surface. Eventually it will shift. Because you are awareness in here. And everything is connected to awareness. Now, does that mean you're a nice person 24 hours a day? No. It has nothing to do with morals. It has nothing to do with values. It has nothing to do with any of that. There are some very, very evil people that are rich. There are some very, very nice people that are rich. There are very, you know, bad people that have a lot of stuff, and a lot of people that are really good people that have a lot of stuff. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is the mindset, and that you know how to acquire these things from within. The kingdom is within. And Jesus was giving you the keys to the kingdom. All the keys to the kingdom are in the Bible. Those same keys are in the Torah. Those same keys are in the Bhagavad Gita. Those same keys are in the Quran. There is different dogma, okay, but basically they're saying the same thing. And it all points to the right hemisphere of the brain. It's the journey of Moses from the left hemisphere to the right hemisphere, to the promised land, because Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father. When you understand the esoteric meanings, the origins of things, the etymology of these words that are written, then you start to understand, oh, okay, I can speak things into existence. Yeah, through your subconscious. I can write things into existence. Yeah, through your subconscious. Oh, I can visualize things into existence. Yeah, through your subconscious. Oh, I can meditate and feel the intuitive thought. And when I pay attention to that intuitive thought, it will lead me to what I'm looking at, what I'm writing about, what I'm speaking about. Yeah, there you go. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. It is a practice of precision, intense focus. The problem is we get distracted. That's all. You know, oh, look at this over here. Oh, wow, did you see this? Oh, that's in, you see that in the news? Oh, that's going on. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, hey, wow, you see that product over there? Where's your focus? It's going like this. It's going like that. Is it your fault? Probably not. If you're not aware, it's not your fault. Okay, ignorance is bliss. Bliss looks like this, right? Because you feel good, okay? But where is your attention going? You are paying attention. Okay, your time is your life. You are paying, literally paying attention with your eyes. You are paying attention with your focus. What are you receiving for that payment? Well, if you're just doing this all day, okay, you're going to manifest the things that you focus on the most in here, okay? And it will translate into your physical world. How does it do that? The reticular activating system in your brain stem, okay, it's a collection of nerves in your brain stem. It's part of your nervous system. It focuses on what you are focusing on. It's a filter. It begins to focus on what you're focusing on. So if it's the red convertible, okay, let's say it's a red Corvette convertible, and you see it online, you go, wow, this is cool. Oh, I love this car. I love this car. The algorithm will keep feeding it to you. But then the reticular activating system in your brain will memorize it and go, oh, okay. In repetition, your subconscious will get the message, and your subconscious will go, oh, okay, red Corvette convertible. All right, got it. That's what we're working on? Okay. And it will start to try to make it happen. But your reticular activating system will look for it out here in the real world. And now, you know, whatever it is, the red convertible, the drama, the robberies, you start to see out here in the world. And it becomes to become a regular part of your life. So your diet is not just what you eat. It's what you see. It's what you listen to. Okay? It's what you're smelling. It's what you're participating in. It's what you're speaking. All of this is subconscious. 95%. Some people say unconscious. Okay? Unconscious, subconscious, same thing. It's below the surface. You're not even aware. Okay? But when you wake up, when you get when you get pulled out of the societal hypnosis, and your voice will do this. The vocalization pillar. The vocalization pillar will do this. And then you will see the truth, and the truth will set you free. But you need to break free of the programming that's in your subconscious. What does that do? That allows you to go, okay, I want this. I'm going to write about this. I want that job, that good paying job, instead of the job I'm stuck in. But I have to keep doing this job because otherwise I won't have money. And you see, fear keeps you here, okay? In this job that doesn't pay as much as this job, but you need to believe in yourself enough for this job. So go ahead. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm working at XYZ company. Thank you. And pretty soon, when your subconscious gets the message, oh, we want to work there? Okay, that's the target? Okay. Now it starts to create pathways towards XYZ company. And sometimes when the door closes, it looks like a bad thing. You may be writing for XYZ company, okay? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, these 4 pillars. You may be directing them all on XYZ company, and all of a sudden, there's a budget cut and you get fired. You get let go from your present job, and it seems like a catastrophe, right? That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. And then a pathway is made to XYZ company, and you go, whoa. But it's not until after the fact that you look back and you go, oh, that's why I got let go, because this was available, and one door has to close before the next one opens. Okay. And that's the way that God works. I know people that read scriptures, go to church, do all this kind of stuff, temple, all this kind of stuff, right? They have no faith in themselves because they read that the temple is here, okay? The prison is also here, okay? The prison door just needs to be unlocked, okay? But they read that the kingdom is within, but they have no concept of how it works in the physical world. They're reading words, they're reciting scriptures, they're reciting verses, they're participating in feel-good programs, and they have no concept on what kind of power that they walk around with every day. But their eyes look out there. Their eyes don't look into the kingdom. Their eyes look away from the kingdom, which is why you need to do the meditation 10 minutes a day. Close your distractors and feel the expansiveness of all that is. And then all of a sudden you see these things pop up in your world, because now you're clear, because now there's no anxiety, there's no fear. Okay, fear, doubt, and fear hold everything out here. Okay, it's not going to destroy everything because you are here. You are in here. The kingdom is within. It can't destroy your kingdom. It can just prevent you from being in touch with it. And now you're numb. You're numb because of the distractions that you see. Oh, what if we get in a war? What if this happens? What if that? What if the stock market crashes? What if this happens? What if that happens? And all the what ifs are produced by your amygdala. And if you have a negative thought, in 6 seconds, your amygdala will give you all the negative what ifs. And now your brain is on a tangent. And you can't help but think it. Why? Because humans have natural negativity bias for evolutionary purposes. And then what? So now what? Now you're being inundated with all these negative thoughts, all this stuff. And all you need to do is be pulled out. The voice will pull you out. But then what's next? You have to have a plan, right? Kind of, sort of. You just have to know what you want and why. The how is God's job. God will bring you everything as long as you know what you want. That's a big question. What do you want? If you ask somebody, what do you want in life? Oh, right? They don't know. They're too busy working. They're too busy focused on whatever it is that makes them money, that takes care of their family and their children. They're focused on their children. They're focused on, they have things that they're focused on, right? But when things aren't going well, either in the relationship or the money side or the work side or whatever it is, the last thing they do is pull themselves out of the box, observe into the box. Because the societal hypnosis keeps you anchored into the box. Your subconscious keeps you anchored in there. Your subconscious, like I use this for my clients. I use this as a visual because it's extreme. Okay, like this. There's no demon in here. It's your subconscious programming that hasn't changed. So now, wash, rinse, repeat. This could be drugs. This could be bad habits. This could be infidelity. This could be whatever. Doesn't matter. Anything negative. And with natural negativity bias in the human being, I have it, everyone has it. It's a constant work in progress. Always, as humans. It's never going to go away. When you're old and you can't work anymore, you're going to sit around thinking bad stuff. It's going to be the first thought. You're going to look at something, you're going to, oh, yeah, that's that, right? You're not going to look for the good side unless you train your subconscious. Then it begins to ease up. But even so, you're still going to have that tendency. So a lot of people don't understand that, well, we're biologically engineered that way to identify threats, to identify things that are wrong so we can spot them, so we can progress as a species. Okay? So just understand that sound affects you like this. Sound heals you. So what's the solution? Well, if you like classical music, some people don't like classical music. Listen to Mozart. Okay, listen to 432 hertz music. It's natural for the human being. Okay, regular music is gonna make you feel just a little uncomfortable under the surface, and you won't be able to tell. You think you like the music. You know, some of the music is trance music. Some of the modern music, a lot of the pop is trance music. But it's trance music for a reason. So you buy it, so you listen to it, so you consume it, so you stream it, so they make money. It's not a bad thing. It's a business. Okay? It makes them money. It's like making the best tasting pastry, right? You don't want to have junk pastry if you're a baker. So you're going to make the best stuff, the best tasting stuff. Is it going to be good for you? We don't know. Maybe in moderation, right? But moderation for the human being is very tough, right? Oh, this thing tastes good. I'm going to do more, eat more. And then, oops, ate too much. Now I got to go to the HMO. Anyway, so that's a little discussion on cymatics. Shaw, good morning. Good morning, Shaw. Aloha kakahiaka. Yeah, good morning, you guys. So we continue tomorrow at 7 a.m. every day, Hawaiian time. Hawaii time. All right, there we go. So I'm looking. We got seven platforms here and several cameras. So I'm looking around and checking all of our different cameras and things. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, okay? And hopefully some of this inspires you, okay? And reach out if you have any questions. It's here for you, lifecoaching.com, and I'll be glad to help you. Be glad to shoot you an email.